All right, we got to talk about some stuff that's very important.
Okay.
The Super Bowl obviously didn't go your way because you didn't give us tickets.
I know, and deservedly so. You've had some choice words for me on that. Which
that was a blatant. You said it to our face. Homecoming in Georgia.
I'm talking about the criticism of my coaching in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I might have said some things.
I
true.
deserve it.
Well,
I can appreciate
hold
the honesty.
on, but you have to understand, like, my job is to say that I can do your job better than you.
That is a good point.
So I'm just doing my
doing
job
a great job
very well.
Well,
I love it.
What we actually said is that you had that quote a couple weeks ago where you said that if you had to do it again, you would watch less film because you might have overdone it. And I said that Belichick is such a good coach that's actually an advantage for him to coach against a good coach because he can put yourself in your head. Whereas if he was coaching against an idiot, then he'd be like, I don't know what the hell to do with this guy. I can't predict an insane person's tendencies. So you should have just hired some moron to draw up the game plan for the Super Bowl.
Us.
Totally fooled. Yeah, us.
You know, I really feel worthless right now. I mean, that is.
It's a high compliment.
I just finally got a good night's sleep, and now I'm going to be waking up just about this again. No, in all seriousness, though, when you look at those couple weeks, there's an element of when you work, you want to work hard, but you also want to work smart, and you can have so many different things and not being mindful of the progression of the season. I mean, you think about there's usually about a 4 to 6 game span that you're usually operating on while still being mindful of situations, and then you got 2 weeks, and you don't want to short yourself. And I'd be lying if I said, if things go a little off track, you probably have too many thoughts in your head, and you would have a different rhythm. I don't necessarily know if you're working any less hard for the preparation, but Coach Belichick and the Patriots are, they're the standard.
They
right
are
now.
the standard. So perspective wise, obviously, everyone's just leaving right now. Everyone's leaving practice. So perspective wise, obviously, you never want to lose a Super Bowl.
Right.
But was there a moment where you're like, I'm 33 and I just went to the Super Bowl, like in my second year as a head coach, with Jeff Fisher's team?
I don't think you ever really go that direction on it. I think what you do want to make sure is that when it ends like that, you don't take away from all the things that the team accomplished.
Right.
Because a lot of times you hear about how demoralizing it can be. It's the last game. There's so much said about it. And those things are real. But I think we can choose how we respond and not being, you want to appreciate the entirety of to get to that point while never being satisfied you don't win it.
Right.
But I think the way that you handle it can be something that can be a positive response as opposed to letting it be demoralizing.
Right.
Like it can be if you allow it to be.
Did you do anything to just get your mind off it?
Yeah, a lot of drinking.
Yeah. Ice cream. That's Sean Payton's move. Ice cream and
then game planning.
You put him
the
in
next
an
game.
ice cream spiral. We
What?
saw him at the combine. He's
I
like,
didn't know that.
I watched Netflix and ate ice cream for like 3 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, after the NFC Championship game.
You have to do a lot of CrossFit to make up for all that, too.
There you go.
Yeah, so you did that to him.
I didn't know that.
A lot of drinking.
Do you feel bad at all about the Saints game?
That's actually brilliant.
No, I don't feel bad.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not. I feel bad that call became such a big part of the conversation leading up to the game. I don't think anybody's going to argue that call did work in our favor, but there was a lot of plays that took place after that you just never know.
Agreed.
That call certainly didn't hurt us.
It did kind of suck because, like, Jared, I thought, played a great game, and he came back after having a tough start. You coached a very good game, and it's like, the narrative is just that call.
That you know what? That's a great point. That was something that even Jason Garrett pointed out when we had the owners' meetings in Arizona. Is that what we want to avoid? Which is why you want to get that rule change. Is that when you've got a great competitive back and forth game that goes into overtime, that was a big part of the game, and unfortunately, it was something that it didn't work out for the Saints in their favor, and it did for us. But that became the narrative,
right?
As opposed to talking about a lot of good stuff that took place from both teams in that game.
Right.
What's crazy is in no small part due to that play, they're kind of changing some of the rules, adding in some replay elements to pass interference. It seems like it's going to be called a lot more this season than it was in the past. Are you going to coach offense any differently knowing that there's a greater chance of pass interference?
Yeah, I mean, I think what you have to do is be mindful, and they've got some meetings coming up where there's been discussion about maybe rewording it and getting some, tweaks to it. But that definitely is going to play into just the factor of, all right, when do you want to actually utilize that challenge, knowing that you can use them at the end of the game, but you have to have your timeouts available. So I think there is a strategic advantage or really, a strategic approach approach, I should say, that we would take when you would actually put a flag on the field, knowing that you have 2 and then you get a third if you get them both right. So you got to be smart about those plays and then having that at the end of the game in mind as well.
Yeah.